Hey, how's it going, guys? So in my last video, I decided to discuss the top 5 things I thought Black Ops 4 is doing right at the moment. I discussed how the new focus on team-based play and the variety of specialists go a long way to draw players into its gameplay. Today, I would like to discuss the things that it got completely wrong, however. And by wrong, I mean some serious tweaks are going to have to be made to this dumpster fire. Alright, let's jump right into it. Here are the top 5 things Black Ops 4 needs to fix right now. Number 1, the maps are too claustrophobic. So immediately after jumping into my first match, I noticed that it was difficult to find a good line of sight for sniping. Later, I found this to be the case on every single map within the beta. This can also be said for the assault rifle and the tactical rifle classes in the game. The lines of sight in this game make Nuketown look like a sniper's haven. As a player that prefers mid to long range gunplay, I found it hard to enjoy the maps included with the beta. So, what does this do for the flow of the gameplay? Well, for one, it essentially forces players to use a submachine gun if they want to be successful. So if you thought that the game was going to reduce the mind-numbing trend of players sprinting around the map, jumping and hip-firing submachine guns for kills, you would certainly be wrong. And this brings me to a small complaint about the jumping also. Players can literally jump 5 to 6 feet into the air continuously, back to back. I mean, this certainly makes sense, doesn't it? All the actual footage of soldiers I've seen shows them all hopping like spastic rabbits directly towards the enemy. Overall, the game is pushing players to choose certain classes if they want to be successful from a map design perspective, and this certainly should not be the case. So let's take a look at the next thing Black Ops 4 is getting wrong. Number 2, submachine guns are way too powerful, and shotguns are useless. Now, I alluded to this in the number 1 spot on this list, but I am highly disappointed in how the game handles its different classes of weapons. Like I said before, I enjoy playing mid to long range in Call of Duty, and to be successful, unfortunately, players are forced to try other things. Submachine guns in this game definitely need to be nerfed, and shotguns need a buff. But these changes depend on another feature in the game, which I will get to in just a minute. Right now, the MX-9 submachine gun is ridiculously overpowered in the game. Throughout my playtime, it seemed like 9 out of 10 players I came in contact with were using this gun. Not only was this an annoying submachine gun, but its kill time is extremely short. Before I could even raise my assault rifle, I was already dead, and that is just one of a myriad of examples of the weapon balance issues present in this game. Everyone is talking about the MX-9, and rightfully so. It's completely broken. Additionally, one of my favorite weapon classes of guns, the shotgun, has been relegated to a garbage secondary weapon that has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Shotguns in Treyarch games used to be thrilling to use as they were high-risk, high-reward weapons. Many times I can remember getting slaughtered by other players, but just as many times I was able to get the jump on groups of unsuspecting players and take all of them out. That sense of excitement is missing from shotguns in Black Ops 4, and I really hope they try to bring back some of that before the game launches. However, these weapon balance problems could be mitigated with an adjustment to the next thing on this list that Black Ops is messing up: player health. Number 3, players have way too much health. Another glaring difference players will see when playing Black Ops 4 is the increased health of players. All players have 150 base health, which again changes the gameplay flow considerably. Gone are the days of fast-paced kills and the thrill of chaining together multi-kills. In fact, the kill time has been essentially doubled from past entries in the Call of Duty series. So, since 2003, Call of Duty has embraced fast-paced gameplay, and Treyarch thought it would be a good idea to throw this completely out. Now, don't get me wrong, I can see both sides of this argument, but as a longtime COD player, I feel that the hardcore audience is being ignored with this decision. In my time with the game, it takes almost an entire magazine from any rifle to take down an enemy. The increased health, as I mentioned above, also renders shotguns and rocket launchers completely ineffective. This is a disappointment for me because, in my opinion, I believe that Treyarch treats shotguns the best out of any of the other COD developers. I always look forward to seeing what they have on offer, and they've just botched it here. Also, because the flow of gameplay has been interrupted with increased health, and those multi-kills just are not very prevalent, score streaks were a rarity. Not only this, the score streak point values seem to have increased as well. I want to say that I obtained only a single Hailstorm missile during the entire time with the beta. Not that it mattered much because the SCORESTREAKS effectiveness has been nerfed, which brings me to the next item on my list. Number 4, SCORESTREAKS are underwhelming. Do you remember the days of calling in a Harrier, then a chopper gunner, and then nuking all the other players and the match itself out of existence? Those were the days. Well, it seems like every year Activision and whatever studio is handling the Call of Duty series at the time wants to ruin those memories for us by slowly dialing back the awesome kill and score streaks of the past. And Black Ops 4 is the worst offender by far. So when you consider all the discussion points from earlier in the video, like the infrequency of obtaining score streaks, their increased point value, and the lack of any ability to get multi-kills, you would think that when a player finally does get a score streak, it would be over the top and awesome, right? Well, no. Of course, all of the non-lethal score streaks work just as they're supposed to, but the offensive ones always fail miserably at what they're trying to do. The Hailstorm missile does not have a very big blast radius and splits into far too few smaller clusters when activated. The only time I actually got an attack helicopter, it literally did not get one single kill after flying around for 45 seconds. And the sentry gun is just laughable. From what I've read online and from speaking with other players, its spool-up time is way too long for it to be effective. Overall, score streaks have been nerfed beyond recognition, and they're just terrible. Okay, let's discuss the fifth and final lame feature in this dumpster fire. Number 5, player count in matches is too small. So let's get nostalgic again for just a second. Do you remember the ground war game type from early Call of Duty games? The 9-on-9 matches that were always mindless and always hectic good fun? The kill streak after kill streak after kill streak? The chance to get 4, 5, 6, even 10 kills in a row? All these things culminated into modes that highlighted the fun of Call of Duty, the other side of the coin. Unfortunately, another trend we've been seeing is the gradual scaling back of these types of modes in recent releases also. It does not make any sense to me at all. The players who like to play strategically in Call of Duty had Search and Destroy, Team Deathmatch, and even Demolition and Headquarters. Now it's like Treyarch is forcing every player into this camp, instead of giving players the option to choose mindless action or strategy. This is further reinforced by the player counts in matches. Teams have a maximum in some cases of 6 and no more. Most match types I have played are 5v5. This leads to long stretches of matches just spent running around with nothing to do, and forces players again to stick with their team. I know this is the angle that Treyarch is going for, but they should give players the choice as I mentioned earlier. I am sure a large number of players feel completely alienated by the direction the game is going in. Alright, so that wraps up my list of the top 5 reasons that Black Ops 4 is a raging dumpster fire. Treyarch has their work cut out for them, or, then again, maybe not. If this is truly the direction that the game is going in, then we're stuck. I'm hoping that the Battle Royale mode Blackout helps fill in this void. Thanks again for tuning into hiswhitelight's Versus for your video game news and updates. Your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys.